with the latest breaking news, live reports from around Kern County, and your latest weather with Storm Shield Doppler. From the KERO studios in downtown Bakersfield, this is 23 ABC
All these
News.
people have animals, they all have dogs, they all have kids, wives. It's just all gone.
Breaking news at the top of this hour. Governor Jerry Brown declaring a state of emergency in Kern County because of this Erskine fire, and now it's turned deadly. We do have live team coverage on 23 ABC News from this devastation near Lake Isabella. Neighborhoods destroyed and the health impact. We will have all this coverage for you coming up here.
This Erskine fire began yesterday evening, burning just 2 acres to begin, then quickly grew throughout the night as fire crews worked to try and get a handle on it. Now it's grown to more than 19,000 acres, more than doubling in size since this morning. 800 firefighters on scene with more on the way, but the fire is 0% containment. Beginning our team coverage tonight of this Erskine fire, 23 ABC's Cassie Carlisle. She is live in Mount Mesa, community devastated by this fire. Hey there, Cassie.
More than 100 homes have been destroyed throughout the Kern River Valley area. We are over in Mountain Mesa, where behind me there's some crime scene tape which seems misplaced with the scorched earth behind us. And that's because this is a homicide investigation. Now, the fire started around 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon, and neighbors told me this fire swept through the mountains in a snap, not leaving any time for firefighters to get to this community.
You couldn't see the fire. All you saw was the smoke coming in. And then you felt the heat and you knew the fire was on you.
2 doors down, neighbors say an elderly couple were inside. The woman was bedridden and the man stayed with her as long as he could until the fire was there. Neighbors then said that he came out of the home and had burns all over, including over his face. Now, I just spoke with Ray Pruitt, who is the PIO for the Sheriff's Department out here. He is saying that this is a homicide investigation because the fire originated from that Erskine Road over by Apollo. And if that was set intentionally, these deaths could be ruled a homicide, and that person could be held responsible. Live in Mountain Mesa, Cassie Carlisle, 23 ABC.
Thank you, Cassie. Evacuations are in place for 9 communities in the Lake Isabella area. Here is a list for you. This is just a brief one. It does include Weldon, Lakeland Estates, and Mountain Mesa, where you did see Cassie there. The Salvation Army is reporting tonight that about 2,000 people are evacuated because of this Erskine fire. And for those in Lake Isabella, Erskine Creek, and Highway 178 to Kelso Valley to Paiute, they are being encouraged to prepare to evacuate as well in those areas.
Well, the primary spot for those evacuees is Kernville Elementary School. Fire crews reporting there are about 125 people that are there right now. Yeah, and again, about 100 buildings have been destroyed in this fire so far. 1,500 others are being threatened by this fire. So we're going to turn it over to 23 ABC's Ken Masenchi. He shares with us what these people are going through and how they're getting a handle on all this information. Ken?
Mike and Jackie, as the fire continues to rage on, many people here at the American Red Cross Evacuation Center are still just starting to learn if their home is still standing or not. Over 150 people have been using Kernville Elementary as a temporary home, as cots have been set up inside and out. Many people are here with their pets as they scramble to evacuate everyone in their homes. Several people have found out the status of their homes, but some others are still waiting for answers.
Just let us drive out there and check it out. We'll leave. That's all I want to know is that the house is still standing.
And many of the people here at the evacuation center expect to be here through the night and hope that they might be able to go back to check on their homes tomorrow. And the mood has been somber, as you might expect here, but many of the people have said that they are very thankful for the quick response that the firefighters had at their homes, as well as the volunteers here at the evacuation center. Live in Kernville, Ken Masenchi, 23 ABC.
And a short time ago, we were notified the Bakersfield Fire Department is sending firefighters up to the Erskine fire to help county crews, along with the U.S. Forest Service and BLM that are on scene. City Fire also sending a task force that includes 5 different engines and an assistant strike team leader. There are other Bakersfield Fire resources that are on standby as well.
All right, well, we've been tracking that fire throughout the day today and looking at our cam from Breckenridge. Lots of smoke still, very active fire scene right now. Let's look at the fire weather parameters here with our system we have with our Storm Shield Doppler radar. This is the loop for the last few hours here, and you can see plenty of fire conditions, bad fire conditions in our mountain communities there, highlighted in the yellows and oranges. Worse in the desert, however. Definitely poor in the Lake Isabella area. Now let's break it down for you. That does combine the humidity as well as the wind. We have very dry air in place, which is definitely not helping the containment of that fire, and also the wind is certainly the bigger problem. With 20 to 30 mile-per-hour winds in the region there, it will help spread that fire very rapidly as it did yesterday evening throughout the day today. And of course, we do have a fire weather warning, or also known as a red flag warning, that was issued earlier today, and that does extend until 10 p.m. tonight. That does combine the humidity, the low humidity, and the wind speeds throughout the evening here, and we're not going to expect the winds to calm down anytime soon. That's why we have a wind advisory in effect until 10 p.m. as well. However, I would not be surprised if that does extend throughout the night tonight. We're looking like those breezy conditions will continue into the day tomorrow. I'll keep track of this, and I'll have more about that in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you. Let's take a live look right now. This is Kern Valley Healthcare District Hospital in Mount Mesa. The hospital getting a mandatory evacuation order just within the last half hour. Now, right now, it's unclear if the hospital is in any type of jeopardy or if it's in the line of fire. You can see the flag blowing back towards our cameras there in the background of Kern Valley Hospital. We're going to continue to monitor the situation up there, bringing the latest as it comes into the 23 ABC newsroom.
And I'm Gracia Aguilar in the 23 ABC Live Center. We're keeping an eye on power and cell service in the Kern River Valley area right now. If we take a look at Twitter, Southern California Edison tweeted approximately 3,000 SCE customers in Kern County are without service due to the Erskine Fire. And they also tweeted that the Erskine Fire is still active and they're unable to give an estimated time of when the affected customers will have service restored. Also, the cell service in the area, the LA Times reports that repair crews from Verizon have been in the area since last night, powering the company's infrastructure with generators, but they're running out of fuel to run them back up, and backup is just hours away. We'll of course continue tracking this fire on social media and have more for you in just minutes. Back to you in the studio.
The Erskine Fire happening in a rural part of our community. There are a lot of ranches there in that area, which means a lot of animals as well. So we sent 23 ABC's Alicia Patillo. She tracked down a man who saved about a dozen horses. Alicia?
Yeah, when Joe Donahue saw the fire and how fast the fire was moving, he knew he had to get his horses to safety.
The uncontrollable wildfire sweeping through Lake Isabella forced countless people to evacuate, including Terry Boyle.
We have reports that our house is standing, which is quite a miracle. So I know that there's a lot of people that have had a lot of devastation and loss.
The evacuations leaving pet owners desperate to save their animals as flames took over their community.
We went home and the fire was surrounding our house. My husband and I were able to get our 6 dogs and the clothes on our back and our medication, and we left.
Almost immediately, Pastor Gerald Goodman opened the doors to the First Baptist Church of Lake Isabella. Displaced evacuees and their animals affected by the fire are welcome.
Up here in the valley, people come together when there's issues like this take place, and we have a resource that's safe, so we've made it available.
Within hours of many homes engulfed in flames, the ballpark behind the church had become a stable for pet owners.
It's incredible. It's a great place. Pastor's pretty good too. We're no different than anybody else. If people have resources that they can provide a safe environment, they make it available. And that's all what we're doing and what everybody else is doing.
Pastor Goodman said that this is a tight community, and during times like this, they all just come together. I'm live in Lake Isabella, reporting live. Alicia Patillo, 23 ABC.
Well, right now, as you can imagine, dozens of people do not have a place to call home after the fire destroyed dozens of homes all over that area. 23 ABC's Stephen Hicks has more on what's being done to help those who were displaced and how the community is coming together. Stephen.
Well, good evening, Mike and Jackie. We're here at the center of those response efforts here at Kernville Elementary, where the Red Cross has set up both food and lodging for residents who have been displaced by that fire. And then just speaking with some of these residents throughout the day, they said despite these bleak circumstances, they've actually been happy with both the response here and, of course, the fact that they're still alive, knowing it could have been a lot worse. Today, the winds howled around Lake Isabella, providing more fuel for the Erskine Fire. As fire crews rushed to the front lines, CHP sent those in the affected areas to Kernville.
People were running. They were jumping in their cars and just going.
Today, more than 150 residents with nowhere else to go came here to Kernville Elementary to receive food and lodging from the Red Cross.
To watch everything go up in flames, literally across the street, moving towards your house.
Megan Wade was watching the news at her home in South Lake before the fire headed her way. She and her dog got out just before flames devoured her home.
The whole thing was just surreal, and I think that hasn't really set in for myself or a lot of other people yet.
Christine McKinnon has 7 pets, and she too was able to get all of them to safety before the fire hit her home.
They're stressed, like I am too. I haven't slept in over 24 hours. So.
But in the community's time of need, it's the community that has come together.
Our local volunteers who really work and live in this community and understand this community and their needs, that's who's supporting right now. It's neighbors helping neighbors.
In a largely elderly population, the Kern County Public Health Department, among other things, is helping residents get any prescriptions they may need.
We have nurses and doctors here assessing their conditions, and they're able to provide help. So they're actually able to get those prescriptions filled.
We have nothing, and yet here are these people who are just willing to give their time and donate to help complete strangers.
And we've gotten a number of calls throughout the day with how you can help. I just spoke with someone from the Red Cross who says they have plenty of food and water from both the Red Cross and Salvation Army, as well as clothing that's being donated from Goodwill Salvation Army. They said you are still more than welcome to make a financial donation. You can, of course, do that at redcross.org/donate. For now, live in Kernville, Stephen Hicks, 23 ABC.
And once again, if you need more information on how you can help out, go to our website, turnto23.com. We've got multiple links where you can donate money or supplies.
And if you're looking for loved ones affected by the Erskine Fire, or if you live close to where it is burning, we have critical resources for you right now. This is the Red Cross's Safe and Well alert page. During and after a disaster, letting your family and friends know that you're okay is really important to give them some peace of mind. So you can log on to this Safe and Well list right here to register yourself. Just click on the button on the left-hand side, and this will put you on their list, and it will notify people who are looking for you, telling them that you are okay. Now, on the other side of this, if you happen to be the one looking for someone, you can search for their name on here, their phone number and address. We do have a link up to this Red Cross page on our website at turnto23.com.
Our coverage of the Erskine Fire continues online and on the air. Be sure to check our mobile and tablet apps. You can visit our website, turnto23.com, for exclusive video and social media reaction along with viewer photos of the fire. Welcome back to 23 ABC's continuing coverage of the Erskine Fire. Continues burning tonight. More than 19,000 acres scorched by this fast-moving wildfire.
And we have 23 ABC's Cassie Carlisle. She is live in Mountain Mesa, where we're seeing a lot of the damage there. Cassie?
Yes, out here, the coroner's office, the coroner van just drove by. Both bodies were taken in that van, and both bodies were laying right next to each other. Now, the sheriff's office is not telling us who they are, how old they are, the gender, or anything like that. But neighbors say that it was an elderly couple that was living in that home that's been reduced to rubble behind me. Now, there's more than 100 homes that have gone up in flames, and neighbors who have been able to save their home say that seeing this fire was terrifying.
It started at 5 o'clock, came over the ridge, and it was just like gone. It's horrifying.
Now, along with these homes that have gone up in smoke, there is also different power lines and telephone poles that have also come down, making it very difficult for people to get through on the roads. I've seen dozens of trucks come through to get those power lines back up, get those telephone lines back up, because nobody out here has AT&T service right now. The only way anyone can call out is with Verizon. Now, out here live, this is the scene right now. It looks like they're wrapping up that crime scene. Again, it is being investigated as a homicide, because if this Erskine Fire was caused by somebody intentionally, then they could be tied as the person responsible for these two murders. Out in Mountain Mesa, Cassie Carlisle, 23 ABC.
All right, thank you there, Cassie. So there are multiple evacuation centers set up around that area in the Lake Isabella area. The primary place, though, the spot to go that people are encouraging you to go to is the Kernville Elementary School.
A lot of resources there. That's where we find 23 ABC's Ken Misvinci joining us now live. Ken,
Yeah, here at Kernville Elementary, which is now doubling as Red Cross Evacuation Center. And there's at least 150 people here, they said. And I'll just step out of the way so you can see there's a lot of people congregated here in the front by the shade, many more inside, and even more around the corner where there is also some shade. But what I wanted to show you is we will pan over to the ridge over here, over the hill, just about an hour and a half ago. You can see some smoke starting to come up there. You can see that there. About an hour and a half ago, that was not there. A lot of the wind and the fire has just moved over east towards the Lake Isabella area. So that is a new development we are seeing out here in Kernville. But right now, many people that are here at the evacuation center talking to insurance companies, just trying to figure out what that next step is, because many of them aren't sure if their homes are still standing or not. Some that have found out that their house has actually been a casualty of the fire are now trying to figure out what that next step for them may be. But right now, live in Kernville, Ken Masenchi, 23 ABC.
Once again, if you are just joining us, that Erskine Fire has grown to more than 19,000 acres. We're expecting an update from Kern County Fire and the Sheriff's Department at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. 19,000 doubled in size since this morning. 800 firefighters are on scene, and we're told that several hundred more are on the way. The fire is still 0% contained.
The Erskine Fire has destroyed, as we were just mentioning, 100 buildings so far, threatening 1,500 others, and this includes many people's homes. There are things that we can all do, though, to be prepared. Advice right now from insurance company State Farm. Those who live where mandatory evacuations are in place, they say safety is first, of course. Make sure that you are safe, your family is safe, friends, animals, and your community. That is top priority here. Also, though, if you can, save any receipts for expenses that you do incur because of this evacuation. Now, if your home might be threatened by the fire, there are some things that you can do to get prepared. Make a home inventory list and make sure that you have your insurance information handy with you at all times. Now, as we are just getting into the beginning of fire season, it is important for all of us to keep this information in mind.
All right, very good. Let's bring in meteorologist Mike Boyce right now. The red flag warning extending until when, Mike?
That's expiring tonight at 10, but once again, we're still expecting those breezy conditions. Let's look at the winds right now. Gusting out of the southwest. They were out of the west yesterday, which helped spread the fire this way. Now we're looking like a more southerly direction, which will actually help bring the fire to areas that have not been burned yet, which is very unfortunate there. Southwest winds anywhere between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Let's look at the current conditions in Lake Isabella right now. We have 87-degree temperature right now, so very hot air in place, and also southwest winds at 36 miles per hour sustained with gusts up to 40 or 50 miles per hour. And again, now let's look at the Storm Shield Upper Radar fire parameters here. Once again, in the lake area, you can see those oranges and reds. That means very bad fire parameters. That combines the humidity as well as the wind speed. So once again, definitely very bad terms of fire conditions there. Storm Shield Upper Radar, very quiet in terms of clouds or rain. We're not seeing anything right now in terms of relief there. High pressure will remain in control, and that'll just keep us hot and dry for the next few days. We have that red flag or fire weather warning that's in effect from this afternoon until tonight at 10 p.m. But however, I am anticipating that is going to be extended. Also, the wind advisory as well does expire at 10 p.m. That's in our mountain communities as well as down into our high desert there. Now, I mentioned the humidity. That's definitely one of the contributing factors to this fire here. We have very dry air in place and across the entire county, anywhere between 15 and 20% humidity. And of course, the hot temperatures are not helping as well. We're in the 90s in the valley, which is about our average, but in the mountains, we're in the 70s and 80s, which will definitely not help the firefighting efforts there. So let's see our temperatures tonight and tomorrow. We'll reach the mid 60s overnight tonight and then topping out in the 90s to near 100 in some spots. Again, breezy conditions are expected for most areas in our mountain communities. Lake Isabella will top out at 96 tomorrow, so the temperatures will be on the rise. The good news is the winds will gradually die down throughout the night tonight. And again, into our desert communities there, we're going to see triple digits widespread there with windy conditions. Now let's look at your futurecast. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing any rain whatsoever or even clouds. We're just going to remain dry and clear as that high pressure remains in control across much of the southwest here. Let's look at the next 3 days here in the valley. We'll see temperatures gradually warming up throughout your Saturday, approaching that 100-degree mark. But then we're looking like another heat wave. We're going to see temperatures pushing the 105, 106 range by Monday into Tuesday. So no relief from the heat, and we're just going to remain dry and hot. Kern River forecast, again, breezy conditions will gradually die down throughout the day tomorrow, and then we'll return into the triple digits. A few clouds may push through on Tuesday and Wednesday. And our mountain communities, again, a very high fire danger there. We'll see warming temperatures throughout the weekend, and then we'll just stay hot and dry for the next 7 days at least.